Have you ever wondered how top sales pros dig deep into a customer's real needs without sounding pushy or desperate? What if I told you that a simple change in how you ask questions could revolutionize conversations, turn prospects into loyal customers, and dramatically grow your business? In today's video, I'm going to reveal how adopting the spin selling method did just that for my company and how it can do the same for yours. Stay tuned to uncover the secrets of one of the most powerful sales techniques in the industry. So I'm sure you're asking yourself, what is spin? So spin is situation, problem, implication, and need payoff. Let's talk about how I implemented it and what it is. So and I'm sure a lot of your sales methods is very much to the point. And I think, at least in my situation, it was because I was nervous about losing the customer, right? Get to the point quickly because they'll hang up. By doing that, you're letting the customer dictate the conversation. I'll give you an example. My traditional conversation with the customer over the phone would be the following. We'd say our highs. I would get their name. I would then ask them what they need removed. We're a junk removal company, so we remove the stuff. So I'd ask them what they need removed. I would then ask them some more situation questions. What the property is? Are there any stairs? Anything else that I need to kind of assess the initial situation, and then I would usually try to skip forward to getting them on the schedule. And that was a better method than what I started with. I used to give them the price over the phone. Now we don't do that anymore. That doesn't work as well for our industry. Maybe it does for yours, but in ours, it's best to just price when we get there. But that's how I would do it. And I'd say for the customers who really wanted us, really wanted us to do the service, they already had that deep need and they knew what it was. They would go ahead and schedule. But a good other percentage, and I'd call these the in-betweeners, the ones who aren't sure, they would ask us for the price. And most of the time, we wouldn't get them. And we'll get that in a second, why that is. And then lastly, we'd have the people who are just pushing for the price the whole time. They don't even want to give the name, or they're constantly just price is top of mind, constantly interrupting. Those people, even with the spin method, they're not your customer. They're not my customer. Let them go. You're not going to get everybody. But let's circle back to the in-between people. Why was I not getting them? Well, the reason I wasn't getting them is they weren't thinking about their need. They weren't thinking about the implications. They essentially weren't seeing the value, right? And that's okay. That's okay. We can get them there because when I speak in this situation, these are all people who called me. So they definitely need me, right? This is not me calling random people. These are all people who are interested in the service, right? So let's talk about implementation. So I had been doing research for a little while into different sales techniques, and I've never been a fan of the pushy stuff. Let's say it's the exact same script as what I just mentioned originally, but at the end I'm like, all right, I can get you on the schedule tomorrow morning at 9. I hate that kind of stuff. It's so pushy. As a customer, you lose me when you do that. I do not like assumptions, and I don't like not being heard, or I almost feel like the salesperson doesn't care, and realistically they probably don't. So with the spin method, right, situation, problem, implication, and need, we're going to be able to address a lot of those issues. So the four styles that the different categories I just explained, those are all different kinds of questions that you want to ask. So when you have a customer on the phone or in person, I find it works best when you are the one asking the questions. When you ask the questions, you're getting them thinking. You're having them really do the talking, because when you're doing the talking, now you got to explain why you're the best, why you have the advantages. You got to explain all these features that you have. You're in the hot seat. You're the one sweating, right? The customer's making you sweat, and that's not how it should be. You're gonna lose, or you're gonna lose, or you're gonna have to go down in price. I mean, going down in price, in my eyes, that's a loss. So we need to be the ones asking the question. The seller needs to be the one asking the question. If the buyer has any at the end and we somehow haven't answered the questions, sure. But I find with the spin method for I would say the mass majority of the callers, you should get through to them. Again, you're gonna lose the the portion that are not your customer, and that's fine. But let's get into it. So situation question, I think a lot of us know these. That's going to be, what do you need done? Where are you? That kind of stuff. Getting a hold of the situation. I find you don't want to ask too many of those because the customer gets annoyed, and you may not need all of it. You can probably ascertain some of that once you're there. It really doesn't do too much to help your case, in my opinion. It's just an annoyance. I would get the bare minimum that you need in order to get the job on the schedule. That's what works for us. The next category is problem. So, for example, for us, what I like to ask them is, how long have you been thinking about getting this? What has caused you to want to get this item removed sooner rather than later, right? And so we start digging into what's going on in the background. So let's say the customer told me that they need a couch removed, and I asked them that question, and they may say, oh, my dog chewed up one of the cushions, and I have family reunion next week, and I don't want the guests seeing the ripped up couch, and so I've actually ordered a new one. And so now I found out, okay, they don't just want a couch removed. They want a couch removed because they're worried about what people are going to think. They want the house to look good, and they have a new couch coming, right? So now we got a whole bunch of information here. And so then we hop into the next question type, which would be implication. So implication would be, what's going to happen if we don't get this done? So in that situation, I would ask, okay, so I understand. So you are concerned about this couch having been ripped up by the dog, and you've got friends coming over and the reunion, and you got the new couch on the way. So would you say that delaying this couch could possibly cause issues with the reunion and the new couch being delivered? And most likely they're going to say, yes, I'm actually really worried about that, and it is important for me to get this couch removed sooner rather than later. And then I can go into the next category, the need-payoff, which essentially shows that what we're doing for them is going to solve the problem, essentially. So we'll say, okay, I completely understand. It definitely doesn't sound like the most fun of a situation. We're here to help. Would you say that by us removing this couch, this would alleviate your stress and also enable you to have the space to get this new couch delivered and have your space looking ready for the reunion? And she'll say, yep, that's exactly what I'm thinking. I would be really happy if we could get this done. And then I'll say, okay, based on what we're basically wrapping up now. So based on what you've told me, it sounds like we can definitely help you with this. We're a full service junk removal company. We'll take care of all the heavy lifting. I don't want you to have to worry about this any further. We've got you covered, and we'll make sure that gets out of here before your new couch gets delivered, as well as what the reunion happens. I've got an opening next Tuesday. Would that work for you? Boom. There you go. No pushy stuff, right? She has told me what's going on, and we're providing a solution, right? I'm not forcing her to do anything that she doesn't want to do. She wants this done. She wants the couch to be removed, and she wants her place to look good, and she wants space for that new couch to come in. I haven't done anything that she doesn't already want to do. All I've done is I found out what her motivation is. And price has never come up. Now, will it sometimes come up? May they ask me a price question after the situation question? Might they even ask it after the problem question? Yes. I think if they ask it after the implication or the need payoff question, they're probably not your customer, right? You might still be able to flip them at the need payoff, but like I said, in this situation, we've shown the value, and it doesn't even cross her mind. Like, the value we are bringing is so overwhelming. It's just so obvious. Why would you ever dispute the price? Now, we don't take advantage, right? We're still moral here. We keep the same exact price regardless of need. We don't do that. So I hope that has kind of cleared that up for you guys, and kind of shown that we're dictating the conversation here, right? I almost call it like we're in detective mode, right? We're investigating, why this is going on. Let's give another example. Somebody calls for toilet removal replacement, and maybe it's cosmetic, maybe it's flooding, maybe it's leaking. Who knows, right? But with these questions, you can kind of find out, and again, detective mode, investigating, and that's really how you've kind of shown the customer that you understand. You understand the story. You know everything now, and you're here to help. That's I think the way you're almost connecting on a human level here, right? And so it's really at that point it's really the price is not even it's not even part of the conversation. Again, this is for the customers who are on the fence, not sure. And so my tip here is the spin selling. It's been a recent implementation for me, and I was very nervous about this. I'm not going to lie. This is a strategy. The previous selling strategy. I've been doing that for 3 years almost, and it wasn't working. It's not working, and so we had to change. And I used to tell myself, and maybe some of you guys are telling yourselves this, that oh, it's because we don't provide that much value, or oh, we have a lot of competition, we can't do this, and you're making all these reasons for why you can't do it. You can do it, right? Somebody is paying you money, so there is a need. You just need to investigate, poke around. It really will apply to just about every industry out there. There's always a reason that somebody's calling, right? For example, for me, I recently had my roof replaced. Why did I do it? I did it because I was worried that my roof was really old. When I bought the house, I was warned by the realtor that it was probably only going to have 5 years left. It's been actually about 3, and I decided I'm not going to risk it. I've got the heavy summer rains coming soon, and that's why I wanted it replaced. Now, funnily enough, not a single one of those companies that came out and estimated, none of them asked. And in fact, a lot of them were just assuming that I wanted to go the insurance route, which actually kind of bugged me. But maybe we'll go into that a separate time. Talk about kind of like the customer and how we can really improve our initial communication with the customer. And so, with that said, I kind of want to wrap things up here. Again, spin, right? So we got situation, problem, implication, and need payoff, right? And so I recommend practicing, right? Practice with employees if you have them. Practice with your partner, your significant other. Practice with friends, and you know, write all these down. What I did is I used ChatGPT to generate a lot of these different kinds of questions. Just tell it what industry you are, and it's actually really good. And as you get more comfortable with it, you'll adjust those questions based on the situation, and that's really how you get them. When you really show that you're understanding and you're listening. If you kind of just use generic questions over and over, you're actually going to lose people because they're going to feel like, oh, he's not listening to me, right? So you need to show you're listening and adapt the questions to what they're saying. So with that said, I hope this video has been helpful. I'd love to hear how Spin has changed your outlook, how you've implemented it. If you have any questions, if you don't like Spin and you don't like anything I've said, let me know too. I'm very curious about your thoughts and what's worked best for you. There are plenty of methods out there, and I'd love to hear what you're doing. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.